behind you, Poe.
Hey, and welcome to Star Wars Battlefront 2 Beta Easter Egg Hunting. Now I know there are a few Easter egg videos already for the beta out there, but they don't show everything that I, for example, would like to see. So I wanted to do an Easter egg video myself and cover almost every single little interesting thing that I can possibly find in the beta. First up, Takodana, which despite it being a smaller map, it actually has quite a lot of Easter eggs to be found here. First we can see the Millennium Falcon, where we can actually walk near it from its back. Unfortunately, if we try to get any closer, then the game will kill us because it's out of the match boundaries. I personally really like seeing ships in high detail like this, so it's very cool DICE decided to add this. Especially for immersion's sake, as it makes you feel like you're actually in the movie. Which is even more cool is that the Falcon is parked in the same exact spot as it is in the movie. Another vehicle on Takodana is the First Order transport, which is part of the final objective for the First Order on this map. It looks great, but I feel it would make more sense for it to be open rather than shut closed, considering the First Order need to escape in it with the artifact. This right here I feel is something that most people wouldn't notice, but it's a nice random Easter egg by DICE, which in all honesty they really had no reason to add. It's a Firespray 31 class patrol and attack craft, which is the same model of the famous Slave 1. You can actually look even right into the cockpit here while standing on top of the ship. I also assume the owner of the ship is also a frequent visitor to Maz's bar. At the back of Maz's castle, we see a nice view of the lake neighboring the castle. It's a nice quiet spot on the map if you aren't into following First Order mission protocol like Finn. But even more so, this is exactly where Poe and Black Squadron glide over the water to come save Rey and the gang from the First Order in the Force Awakens. Moving into the courtyard of Maz's castle, we see a ton of different vibrant flags up on display coming up to the entrance of the castle. Out of all these flags, we can spot two very known flags. The first being of course that of the 501st, which is actually not the 501st in the Star Wars universe, but the real-life Stormtrooper costume-wearing charity group called the 501st. This was added in The Force Awakens as a movie Easter egg all by itself, so it's nice to see that DICE have continued that here. Not far from it, we can also spot a Mandalorian flag as well, with a really well-done statue of Maz right above it. Also in the same place in the courtyard, there are a few crates in the corner which look like to be the supply crates found in the mobile game Star Wars Commander. Inside the castle, we can spot several RA-7 protocol droids. It seems they are deactivated, as it would have been nice to see them at least move their arms around or make some noises. In the basement of Maz's castle, we see the same corridor used by Rey as she ventured down to the sound of Luke's lightsaber calling for her. Unfortunately, the actual door that opens up for Rey to enter where the lightsaber is in can't be opened right now, but I can see hackers eventually trying to open their way into it once the game is launched and just to see if there's actually anything inside it. Now since Maz runs a tavern, everyone is coming over to her place to drink beer. And I was always curious whether or not Maz is actually supplied the beer by a third party, or if she brews it herself. Well, Battlefront 2 now has put that curiosity of mine to rest, as we see Maz's mini brewery here in all its glory. Upstairs we can also briefly spot Maz's castle landing pad as well. But unfortunately, like the room with Luke's lightsaber, it's not accessible. But it would make for a damn nice amazing sniper nest if it was, considering the view you'd get from there. Finally, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the announcer for the Resistance is General Leia, as it sounds very much like her, plus it would really make sense.
An artifact here in Takodana, and they're sure to do everything they can to get it. Protect the package and do not let it reach the extraction point.
Having said that, the same argument can be made for the First Order announcer, which also eerily sounds similar to that of General Hux.
We have been charged with retrieving an artifact from the Resistance here on Takodana. Obtain the package and bring it to the extraction point.
Next, we head to Naboo, where surprisingly for a much larger map, there are a lot less Easter eggs to be found. My personal favorite Easter eggs on Naboo are just spotting random Naboo civilian speeders and buses in the background of the map. Especially the ones located right across the river, which features a ton of civilians, both panicking while some are just walking peacefully unbeknownst to what is actually going on. And here we can also see some more civilian speeders plus some Naboo boats. This is of course the same river where Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Jar Jar first entered the city through in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Inside the castle we can spot Easter eggs right on the walls as paintings. We can see a painting of Governor C.O. Bibble, who was a member of the Naboo Royal Advisory Council. A great looking painting of Padme Amidala, who is seen holding to what it seems to be some kind of blue Naboo bird. And finally, a painting of that of Queen Jamila, whom was the Queen of Naboo right before the Clone Wars broke out. We also get to see a few other paintings in Naboo. One showcasing the Naboo Villa, where Padme and Anakin went for a date in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And then there's this one, which looks to be some kind of parade on Naboo of some kind. I'm not really sure, but it does look interesting and I'd love to learn more about it. Now on Fondor we see even less. I did manage to spot what seems to be 4 or 5 Imperial docking ports, one after another at the bottom of the Fondor map. Interesting enough, these docking ports actually hold several Star Destroyers on them. Why they aren't coming to help the first docking port against the Rebel attack is a whole other question by itself. And finally, on the main docking port, we get to see a few parked Imperial transport craft. They're mostly the Imperial cargo transporters, which made their debut in Rogue One and were also included in the Rogue One DLC for Battlefront 1. But we can also spot one lone Lambda-class transport shuttle amongst them as well. It's the little details like this that really make the Fondor map stand out for me. But that'll do it for the Easter eggs in the Battlefront 2 beta. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more continued coverage of Battlefront 2. See you on the next one.